Hi. So, as we await my children's book coming out, I wanted to go through just 5 of my favorite children's books and why they're my favorite. And of course, I then want you guys to list a couple of your favorites. I find that my children's book collection is getting bigger and bigger, so if you have a really good one, please recommend it, and I would so love to add it to my collection. First of all, this is one that my brothers and I definitely loved growing up. This is the Happy Birthday Present, and it is about 2 brothers that are trying to find the perfect gift for their mom. The illustrations are really unique and very minimalistic in the color scheme that's used. But I remember as a kid loving to look over these and just finding them fascinating. One thing I love about this, though, the dialogue between the brothers is great. It is very, very much kid speak, and you can see the mental processing that's going on behind it, and it is very accurate. I love it. And then the ending is just really sweet and good. And it's one that you just really, I don't know, I'd love to sit down and read it right now. The next one is Madeline. I remember as a little girl loving all of the Madeline books and thinking they were just great. Fun fact, Eiffel Tower is on the front, and I've been there. Also, they have Notre Dame in here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been there too. Not to rub it in. Number 3 is Which Way Ben Bunny. This one is a lifted flat book, which usually I don't like because kids just rip them off. But this one was good, and it actually survived pretty well in our household. But it's also educational because it teaches you left and right. And this one was one that also has kind of an underlying tone of not jumping to conclusions about people, but following things through and giving people the benefit of the doubt, which I think can be healthy. There's something about this book and the way it's written that the whole pace of it is really quick. And so as a kid, I remember reading this and just like it feels like you're on this adventure. And the ending is fabulously satisfying. Really good. This one, I'd be curious if any of you guys have ever heard of this. I think it's a little bit more unusual. Just Alike Princes. And this one, the copyright date is 1966. It's an old book. It's kind of falling apart. But this one was very special. It's about 2 princes that are twins, and they can't get along, so their nanny Bridget steps in and kind of changes their circumstances so that they have to get along and have to learn to get along despite differences. And this one, what they do with the color scheme is you don't really notice it until you get to the end, but they kind of do this really neat combining of colors that you've seen all through the book to make this really satisfying harmony at the end. And for the last book, this is one that I discovered in my adult years, and oh my goodness, I love it. Anytime my nieces and nephews come over, we read this book. This is Dragons Love Tacos. It is currently on the New York Times bestseller list, and for good reason. This one it has kind of funky illustrations, like the shapes don't exactly make sense, but they're hilarious. And the way that this book is written, I think oftentimes what draws us to books is the illustrations, and with this book, the way that the words are, the way that the writer just phrased everything, it's hilarious, and it kind of implies things, but it gives you space for your imagination to run with it, which I also think is really important for writing, but it's really humorous and kind of disastrous, and it puts you into this place. You never put dragons and tacos together, but it's such a good thing, and it's hilarious, and I find every time I read this book, I find something else that's just hilarious and so, so fun, and I'll read it with some of my younger nieces and nephews, and we like sit and pore over the pictures because they're all just so fun and great. And as far as an update on my book, oh, this morning was so exciting. We have, like, it's a long story, but big progress was made this morning. And we are just waiting for the final proof to arrive, which there had been some problems with it, which then made everything stall and it took forever. But theoretically, it should be on its way soon. I am so excited. It's getting there. This is becoming very real, and it's ridiculous. I like walk around my house or around work, and I'll just kind of like smile and giggle, and people are like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, my book's coming out so soon. Stay tuned. You will be posted as soon as I have a date for when this thing's going to be available. I can't wait to share it. Oh my goodness, it's going to be good. So don't forget to tell me your favorite kids' books. I want to know. So until next time, I'll see you later.